This week on NintenDomain, we talk about the Animal Crossing Direct and other news.
What's that? Puzzle League and Animal Crossing?
Me oh now, not me oh, we oh, me oh, not me we now, we oh, oh, we oh, not me we oh.
Welcome to NintenDomain, episode 45. We're back from our haunting stories of last week. Welcome. Welcome. We're your hosts, Trey Johnson.
Jeremy, no longer a jack-o'-lantern Mikowski.
Yeah, Jeremy,
Rotten
Pumpkin Mikowski. Yeah, starting off the November with another podcast here to bring you the latest news and games and all that fun stuff like we normally do.
So this is for real. I think we're somewhere around our 1 year anniversary as far as when we started releasing stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah, because it took me a while to figure out how to post stuff because I was trying to do it for free and that was difficult. I ended up just paying for it, which I'm glad I did because everything's a lot easier to do it to just pay for it.
Right, it's a lot more streamlined,
and you can get it to post for you and all that stuff, so you don't have to do it on your own. Just like it was like the best thing I figured out for Libsyn is that you can just click on stuff and it'll just post things for you, and you can tell it where to post it and all that, so you don't have to go around and put links on everything. We're getting close to our 50th anniversary, or not 50th anniversary, our 50th episode, like 5 more episodes, so we should try to do something cool for that. I don't know, maybe we can record some stuff when you're here for the podcast event.
Yeah,
maybe we can
that'll
record
be
some sort of live thing. Yeah, so... And quick news. Like if you're in the Chicago area, I'm doing a DJ set at the Madison next week from 11 to 1. Madison's a Wisconsin themed bar, but I'm going to DJ some video game music over there under the Wart Radio title. So if you live in the Chicago area, come by and say hello. It'll be fun. It's on November 10th at 11 o'clock.
Hey, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I already got the list together. I put together my mix for it, but I won't say what's on there, but I think it's pretty good. I think I've gathered enough hits from the WRT radio episodes and other ones that I haven't played on there yet that are just personal favorites. So
is it going to be a Thanksgiving themed episode?
No, it's just going to be, I'm just going to play music that I like and hopefully that other people like it. It's like a bar DJ thing, so I'm not going to theme it as much. I'm just going to play stuff that I think's good and hope that other people think it's good. Moving. But, I wanted to represent everything, there's so I have a couple Mario songs and a couple Zelda songs.
So are you going to have any sort of stuff there to interact with, video game wise?
It's still kind of up in the air, but I hope so. They said that they have a bunch of systems laying around that they aren't using, but...
You got to get a hold of some CRTs.
Yeah, no, because when they said they had TVs, when they had NESs, I was thinking we need CRTVs and do we need extra controllers? It's I got a bunch of controllers, but I don't want somebody running off of them if I bring it over there. I don't know. It became this whole other thing.
Yeah, I have something stupid 12 Nintendo controllers. I think.
I haven't counted, but I have a lot. I mean, I think I have 5 64 controllers at least, and I think I have 6 GameCube controllers. Actually, I might have 7.
I only have 1 GameCube controller, man. That's awesome.
Well, because I had 4 wired controllers, and I have 3 Wavebirds, so I have 7 GameCube controllers.
Why do you have 3 Wavebirds?
I bought 2, and one of my roommates left another one, so I have 3.
Oh, okay.
One of them's actually missing a connector, so it's not a full Wavebird.
You can just swap it out when the batteries run out.
I can, yeah. Well, the one that he left actually works better than the one that I had, so I use his more than my old one, my original one. My original one, the light doesn't come on it anymore with the switch.
Oh, so you don't know.
So you don't know whether it's on or not. I mean, it works fine, but due to a Mario Kart related accident, the light doesn't come on anymore. It's kind of a...
Did you throw your Wavebird?
I might have. Yeah, it was the Mario Kart Wii related accident, but that game was really unfairly hard, so...
The 150 pair mode?
So you can understand why I threw the controller. It was some sort of like I had to get like so many stars on like a set of races to get a certain character, and I was having a hard time doing it. And you get hit by the blue shell and other things, and there's some very unfair stuff in that game.
Rage quit.
Yeah, I didn't rage quit. I just think I just smashed the controller on the couch, and the light stopped working. The controller works fine, but the light went off. Thought that was funny.
You just raged.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was unfair. Whatever happened was unfair, and that's what gets me angry.
Well, it's over now, man.
You'll never have
a game again unless they release it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I still have it. I think I have 2 copies of that game too, of Mario Kart Wii. Another roommate left his copy of it, so I have 2 of them. So in case I get mad and want to break a disc, I can, because I have 2 of them. Not that I would do that.
That's. I don't know the effort behind that. You'd have to like get up, walk over to the console, eject it.
If you were angry enough, you could do that.
Yeah, but at that point, you might hurt your console. You might go for the gut.
Yeah.
You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Don't ever have a hammer sitting next to the Wii.
I was having a hard time with some sort of thing on, I forget what it was. I was playing 3DS and I was getting mad at it the other day, and I flicked the screen on it when I get mad, I flicked the top screen. And I think I would hit it. I hit it a little bit harder than normal, and I'm like, oh, I thought I put a dent, but there's no dent there. But
you flick the screen. Oh, the poor 3DS.
I flick it with my finger sometimes, the top screen. If I get angry, not really loud, not hard, just enough
No, I know what you mean.
Let out
Sometimes I make primitive noises and grunt.
I know you do. Yeah, you stomp the floor.
I think it's downright primitive when I.
Yeah, the monkey noises. The monkey noises came from Super Monkey Ball 2. I remember that.
Oh my god!
Where it'd be like, and you
just playing through the actual levels, trying to beat all those, man.
Yeah, I don't know how we got. Well, I think mostly you. It was mostly you, but I don't know how we got through all of those. How we got through that entire story mode.
I bet I played some of those levels several hundred times.
Yeah, I think you beat probably 80% of them, of the levels of those. So you had more patience than I did with that game, but it was fun to watch it. To have somebody to play through it. But it was
a
really
very
hard.
Nice accomplishment to beat the AV level with just the rotating AV.
Oh yeah,
whatever their logo was.
Yeah,
it's fucking hard.
Yeah, the really hard levels. Jeez. If you were, since I said we were in the Chicago area, we'll just mention it for a second, even though I said I wouldn't. The Cubs won the World Series, so that happened.
That's real.
The only reason I was saying it is just to segue to a conversation we were having earlier that we didn't record, that we should have recorded, was I was playing on my retro station earlier, and I was thinking about playing Ken Griffey Jr. again, because I have the cart for that, and I was going to play it, and play as the Cubs or something, but it'd be cool. That was a fun game, so I was thinking about popping it in, trying it again.
That is a really fun game.
Yeah, it is cool. I actually found out later that it was a ripoff of another game though, All-Star Baseball, the arcade game, the SNK game, which I got on whatever the collection, the Volume 1 collection for Wii. I bought the disc for that, and it's on there, and it's pretty much the exact same game. They definitely were heavily inspired by that game. It has the same outlandish looking characters, and have them break the bats with when they get struck out and stuff like that, and it's super arcadey, which is fine. But that game's really fun too. so I realized where the roots are from, and for all I know, there might be developers who worked on that game that worked on Ken Griffey Jr. As what seems to be the case in video game world.
That is a very arcadey type of baseball game. It's not
really
a simulation kind of game so much.
Yeah, but that's what made it so fun. That's why I got the game to begin with. I mean, I didn't want to. Actually, that game was sold to me over the Nintendo Power Hotline, which was pretty funny. Whoever I was talking to was talking all about it. He's like, "Hey, what do you think about this game?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." And he's like, "Oh, you should get it." But that was why I ended up asking for it. I think I got it for my birthday. Yeah, because that was the birthday I got Ken Griffey Jr. and Super Metroid at the same time. From different family
You were allowed
members.
to call the Nintendo Power Hotline?
I did it a couple times, yeah. For certain codes. I think I did it maybe 2 or 3 times. But I did call the counseling corner or whatever on Nintendo Power. My mom let me call him. And whenever I called him for whatever I called him for, the guy was like, "What do you think about Ken Griffey Jr.?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he's like, "It's really cool. Like you should play it, like because it's fun. Like they break their bats and they do all this stuff." And he like just gave me this whole spiel about it. And I'm like, "Okay, cool. That sounds nice." And then I ended up getting the game because of some Nintendo Power. Yeah.
Since you let me make that $12 phone call, now I want this game.
I don't know. I don't know if it was that much. I remember calling them on 2 occasions. Actually, no, 3 times. I remember calling them 3 times. I actually called them to ask for what the blood code was from Mortal Kombat 1. I remember doing that. Because
they gave it to you?
There was no blood code for Mortal Kombat 1. That's what's funny about it. Because the Nintendo version had like sweat, had like the gray blood and all that because they took it all out because of whatever. Anyway, like they took,
and they'd have to be able to verify your age to give you that code, right?
No, there wasn't. Yeah, but there was no code. Sega had a blood code, where they had the blood removed and you had to put a code in and then you could do the moves. But Nintendo like censored the game and altered some of the finishing moves. Actually made some of them better, I thought. But, I called them and I was like, "What's the blood code for Mortal Kombat 1? And the guy was like, they went through a lot of trouble to take all the blood out of there. Like, what do you think do you think they'd actually try to put it back in? Is what he said. I'm like, okay. So that was my first Nintendo Power call. And I called them, I called them a second time because the passwords for Super Empire Strikes Back were incorrect in the magazine. And I called them and asked them what the actual passwords were because the ones that they put in there were wrong. They didn't work. So I called them out on that. And I think the third time I called, asked for the code for Smoke in Mortal Kombat 3 because there was no internet and I couldn't find it. So, because I wanted to play a Smoke. And they knew it. So, there you go. Found the Smoke code from Nintendo Power. Exciting stuff.
Well, I think that's pretty cool that you talked to Nintendo Power. I just never had that chance. I think I probably could have made that call, but the repercussions would not have been worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much it ended up costing, but I didn't feel like I talked to him that long. And it wasn't like the Simpsons jokes where like it's like incredibly, incredibly slow and you pay by the minute. It was like an actual person I was talking to. But yeah, Ken Griffey Jr., that was an interesting game. Like there was a sequel to it on Super Nintendo and there was maybe it was the 64 one that had a second one that had a sequel. I think, it's the 64 one. There were 2 of those, which I didn't have any of those, but I played the Super Nintendo one and thought it was really great.
I want to say I think there were two of them for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I thought that there were only 2 for the 64, but I may be wrong. There might have been a second Super Nintendo one.
Because I think I played both of them on the Raspberry Pi emulator a few months ago.
Oh, sure. Yeah, they're still pretty fun. You can do the the Home Run Derby is pretty fun.
Yeah, Home Run Derby is what I always played on that.
Ken Griffey Jr. looks pretty strange in the game.
Yeah, he sort of like has some facial animations that show up in the cutscenes that are kind of.
Oh yeah, no, it had that cool opener where like you see like his eyes and the reflection of his hat and all that, and the big like circle. It's like the big like light reflection of his helmet. I remember that. They had the license to Ken Griffey Jr., but they didn't have the license to anybody else. So for some reason, they had like only part of the MLB license. I don't know how that works, but they had the numbers, but they didn't have the actual names of the characters. So you could go into the game and like name your team, and you could make it Kern or whatever if you wanted to. You could put all the regular guys in there. But since I didn't know anything about baseball players, when I was playing the game, I made like comic book teams. Like I made a team that, like where Punisher was like a pitcher, and there was like Captain America, and like all the Marvel superheroes were on a team. And we actually made my friend Caleb and we made like a joke team that was like all like, cuss words and like funny. There was like P fucker and like another guy and stuff like that we put in there. And I ended up selling the game to my mom to like give to my stepbrothers later. And they played it like in front of, and they saw that team that we made, and we got in trouble for it. I thought it was funny. My mom was like, "I didn't know you put all." She's like, "I didn't know you put all this stuff in here." I'm like, "Yeah, I did. Sorry."
It was Caleb.
I guess I forgot about it too. But yeah, she bought them off of me for like whatever, and gave them to my stepbrothers for. She bought like NBA Jam and Stanley Cup and Ken Griffey off of me for like $10 a card or something like that. One Christmas to give to them as gifts. So I was like, oh yeah, cool, because I wasn't playing them anymore at the time. But those are my favorite sports games, and I think the only one I got back,
like GameStop.
Yeah, I think the only one I got back was Ken Griffey. I don't think I have Stanley Cup or NBA Jam anymore, which is a shame. But yeah, Ken Griffey memories.
Nintendo's had the majority share of the Mariners up until recently.
Yeah, we talked about that. Isn't that like according to their investors meeting? Isn't that like the reason that they made money was because they sold the Mariners this year? It was part of like why they had.
Why they were not in the red or whatever.
Yeah, why they're not in the red.
Well, that makes sense.
Well, it was put in on their game or whatever. They talked about it. There was a Game Boy version of it, of Ken Griffey Jr.
Was it Game Boy Color or just Game Boy?
Game Boy straight up. It had Super Game Boy compatibilities.
Okay, so it came out in like 95-ish.
97. But they used the stats from the 96 season for the 97 version.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there was Ken Griffey Jr.'s winning run was the sequel for Super Nintendo. And it was developed by Rare also. It was a Rare game.
Right, so there were two on SNES, right?
Yeah, but
one
the
of
second...
them is a lot better than the other.
Yeah, I played the first one, the very first one. Ken Griffey Jr. Presents Major League Baseball was the one that I played. But the Rare one might be good too, I don't know.
If I recall, that's the one we were playing more.
But there were two 64 ones also. I was correct on that. Because there was Ken Griffey Jr. Slugfest and and Major League Baseball featuring Ken Griffey Jr. It's the other 64 one, which I might try to track one of those down too. My friend Curtis had a copy of it, and I remember him playing it. Because I remember they actually had polygon people in the stands for that, which was a big deal. Like instead of just having like a flat picture of just lights like moving, they actually put individual characters like in the stands. But there wasn't as many of them, but it looked like, there were actually people there, which was cool. But anyway, aside from a 20-minute talk of baseball and whatever else we've been talking about, what have you been playing this week? Did you get any new games?
I have not gotten any new games. I've been trying to play the ones I played pretty far into Mario RPG. I've been taking my time with it, but pretty close to the end. And I played a little bit of Eternal Darkness. It's as hard as I remember. It's kind of easy, but it's harrowing.
Sure. Is it pretty tough? It's been a while since I played it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's definitely, it feels dated when you play it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
It's still got a fun little combat system. The puzzles are not that innovative, but they're cool.
Yeah. I just remember...
the magic system's where it's at. Because I just loaded up a save file. I didn't start from the beginning.
Because you use different runes, right?
Yeah.
I remember that because you can kind of make your own magic spells, which is neat. Like depending on how you put things together and so whatever the chants are.
You can find codex. I believe they're called.
Yeah, no, they're called codex.
To the spells, but you can also sequence them yourself. You lay the runes out right. So each of the different whatever they're called, tablets maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can put a different amount of runes. It's like odd numbers.
Sure.
That's serious, kind of creepy but cool stuff. It's like some real summoning kind of.
Yeah. No, it is. It's cool.
So I think that's probably my favorite part of that game.
Sure, that's cool.
If you remember, if you're casting a spell and you get hit, it cancels the effect of it. So the more spell,
so the longer it is, there's a good chance you're going to get hit. Yeah, I remember that. It's like the more powerful the spell, the longer it takes for you to chant it.
So you'll be fighting a boss, and you'll just about be at that point where it's finally through chanting, and you're about to cast a spell, and then you get hit. It's really
and then you don't get it. That sucks.
There's no save states available in GameCube games.
No, there's not. That's what I was having when I was playing Doom 64 and Quake 2. They don't. It's you can't save at all. There's no checkpoints. It's just you got to go through the whole. You got to go through the whole level and beat it, and then you can save after the level. You can only save in between levels, which is so not how it was on the PC. But I guess that was how they wanted to do it for the 64. That's all you could. The only way you could do it. So it makes it extra hard because some of those levels are pretty fucking long.
I did completely forget that I beat Mario Sunshine.
I was gonna say, didn't you beat a game?
I beat it.
What was your star count on that?
72.
Oh man, didn't you make it to 100?
No, I mean I've gotten most of the ones that are in the actual levels. So you have to go back and get the coin one, but a lot of that shit's the blue coins and the hub world stars.
Yeah,
which I
the blue coins are annoying. I forget where I was at. I think it was at 118. I was either at like 118 or 119.
Wow, no, never made it there.
But I was on my very first playthrough, like from when the game came out, and I got it. But yeah, we'll do an episode on that game eventually. I need to have some time to play it some more. But now that I have my
kind of
retro thing, I'll play it on the retro thing.
It was a strange feeling, like watching that, because I was like, I don't think I've seen the ending to this. It's the first time I beat it, because I never really had any like intention to go back and play through it, get more stars.
Oh yeah,
kind of stopped playing it. I think just some of those stars that you have to get are really annoying.
Yeah,
it's like that in all the Mario games. So. But I just don't want to go back and like fuck around with it anymore. But now that I've beaten it again, I don't know. It's kind of feeling like a different kind of rush of nostalgia, because I was seeing an ending to a game that I haven't seen 15 years, 14 years, whatever.
Yeah,
since I first beat it.
It's an interesting game in itself, I think. I mean, it was a kind of a weird direction after Mario 64, and a direction that they didn't really continue in after that, except for supposedly the new game is going to be more like it.
Which it's got a similar.
If you want to do a quick segue to that, did you read any of the fake leaks or the maybe real leaks or whatever about the Switch that came out this week? No,
I've gotten pretty annoyed with leaks. Now that we know what it is, I'm kind of comfortable not getting too obsessive about it in January. But it shows up in my feed, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, it's just it was just saying it was just somebody saying like, oh, these games are going to come out for it. It seemed like a lot of guessing. I mean, you could guess and say this. They're like, oh, well, all these Wii U games are going to be re-released for it as like a director's edition with like some extra stuff. And they were saying that in the new Mario game that you're going to use new hats, like when I said like the crazy hat or whatever place that he passed by that I saw in that video. And they also said that like that the levels that you'll be able to run from, like the levels will be connected in some way. There's a hub world, but like the levels will actually be connected to each other too. No, it's open world, but like like how in Mario 64, like you walk through the castle and you go into a picture and you go to a level,
right?
And then you get a star and then you come out and now you're in the castle again. And if you wanted to go to a different level, you'd go to a different picture and jump into that picture. Like supposedly this one has like pathways connecting the levels that are inside of the hub world also. So like say you jump into a picture, you can find a secret passageway from like the snow level to like the like haunted mansion level, and it would take you from one to another. Like it's saying that you can do stuff like that, which sounds pretty cool.
Oh, that does sound cool.
Yeah, where it's still a hub world and there's still levels, but within like level 1 you can find a passage to like level 3, like that type of thing. And so the levels would be connected also outside of the hub world. So that sounded like an interesting thing that they'd probably do, and I'm for that if that ends up actually being a thing.
Going back to that,
yeah, it says like some levels will connect into each other, a la Banjo-Tooie. For example, the ice hub may have 2D level that connects you to the desert level. There will be collectible unlock hat power-ups and access to new levels, a la Metal Boots and 64 to sync, blah, blah, blah. 2-player co-op with Luigi will be possible with the Joy-Cons, is what they said in this supposed leak. So
the Joy-Cons are that important. I mean, it makes sense.
I think we talked about this before, but what I'm predicting here is I think the Joy-Cons are going to be kind of like the Wiimote Nunchuck, or they can be, especially because of that secret sensor that was on the bottom of it. Well, I guess you'd have to use it the other way then, right? Because one of them has like what kind of looks like the front of a Wiimote on the bottom of it.
Right, for the pointer.
Yeah, so I was wondering if there's some pointer control things. But it's on the bottom of the controller. I always thought it'd make sense for the top, so then it'd be by the trigger. Because then you'd be able to emulate Wii games with the Joy-Cons, with both of them. And maybe there's a sensor bar on the system or something.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, so like out of the gate, you don't buy a special controller.
Well, yeah, like
they don't have to make it backwards compatible with the Wiimote Switch.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah. Well, if you think about it, like the Wii U gamepad has a sensor bar built into it already. Yeah. And that was when they did that. And this looks like it's basically a better version of Wii U is what they're going for. A Wii U system that's actually portable, that you can actually take
Wii U Plus.
Take it aside from like 5 feet away from your TV or whatever. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if they put a sensor bar to the portable version of it. Because think about it, you take it apart, you put it on the kickstand, and you're in the plane, boom, you got your sensor bar right in front of you there, and you use the Joy-Cons. It'd be pretty awesome if they did that. And
where it like protrudes up over the edge, I think there must be.
Yeah, it also does when you put it in the case. It doesn't go all the way down. But when he's on the plane and he's playing with the Joy-Cons, you could use Wii stuff in there too. And then that would be it would allow you to do Virtual Console easy. And if they put some analog triggers on there too for the Joy-Cons, then you got your GameCube handled also, and you could use the GameCube stuff. I don't know. It would make more sense to me, because then you don't have to like continue to sell the Wiimotes. You can just like still sell Wii games or have Wii type games, but not with the Wii controllers, and they completely separate themselves with that. But they'll still have the motion functionality and all that. So, and the pointer. That's what I'm thinking they're going to do with that.
Well, I definitely expect a deluge of GameCube remake bringing those analog triggers back.
Oh, sure.
They would have to. I mean, that's their like one untapped resource right now.
Well, they did a remake of Wind Waker, but you didn't need the analog sticks for that. The analog triggers. And I think the only thing you really need it for is Super Mario Sunshine, just because like you had to because there were two separate buttons. Like if you held it, you could aim. And you could aim in place, and if you held it without clicking it, you could run and aim, or you could run and shoot, which is like a big part of the game. And if you took that out, you wouldn't be able to do it. So I'm sure they're working on something so they can do some sort of Mario Sunshine remake or HD re-release or whatever, or just re-release it. I don't know.
That's going to be so sad for me because I'm not going to want to play it.
Yeah, because you already played it.
Yeah, it won't be new to me because it already looks fantastic. GameCube.
Sure.
It's just a little muddy on my HD screen. Yeah,
there's some other stuff in there about like cards, like how the cards will work, like to where you can like download stuff from other people's systems, I guess, in the leak or whatever. It says Nintendo Switch will support NFC ID cards. Industry first. The card would allow you to easily download content from your friend's personal device, allowing you to get anything from new characters to digital games downloaded through eShop. Speculated this will minimize the potential battery drain while using Nintendo Switch. So stuff like that. And they were also saying that they were going to try to do some sort of thing with stores where you could trade in your old Wii U games and get Switch games for like less or free. I don't know. I don't see it being free, but I don't know. Some sort of trade-in, which they do anyway when new systems come out, like GameStop kind of does stuff like that. But that'd be interesting, I guess. I don't like to trade in my games or sell my games if I don't have to.
Anymore.
I did that.
We've learned through our life.
Yeah. Well, I went through that. I mean, I had that awful time where I sold a lot of my Super Nintendo games, which we talked about, which still sucks. But I'm hoping, my plan is to not do that again. That was an awful experience, and I don't want to do that again. And it makes me sad that I'm missing like a big chunk of games that I really liked, especially with the retro setup now. It's like, it's like, I can't play Street Fighter because I sold my Street Fighter games. It's like, fuck, stuff like that. But so that was one of those. Not to interrupt what you were playing for the week, but I thought we could just segue to the Mario thing real quick.
I hadn't heard any of those rumors, but at this point, they all sound legit because we have more of a foundation for what this system actually is.
Yeah, they're less
pure speculation.
Yeah, they're less crazy. So, I mean, I just kind of like, oh, well, that might be neat, that type of thing. We'll see when January comes around. We'll find out everything we need to know.
I did want to mention so you're talking about the Switch, that I saw someone post on Nintendo voice chat that they were Karen for Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even if it was just for that photo op, which obviously that person needed a Wii U controller to emulate the Switch controller. It was pretty good. It's pretty good. I laughed a lot.
Yeah, Karen's popularity has skyrocketed since that. I wonder how many people dressed as Karen for Halloween. And it'd be funny if it was like, all of a sudden there's more people dressed as Karen than Harley Quinn this year. Just out of nowhere. That'd be hilarious. It probably didn't happen, but I'm sure like how is the actress like dealing with this? Is she like getting calls from like Sony now to be in like some other commercial, or it's like, hey, what do you do? We got to do this reveal for Xbox Scorpio or whatever it's called. Do you want to come do that? You can play that and make it look cool.
I want to know if she's going to change her like stage name to Karen because that's what people know her as now.
Yeah, but isn't that, we talked about that last week, like whether that was her actual name or if people just made up that name for her.
It was just somebody just said something like that's what her name would be. They made a meme out of the picture.
Oh, okay. And then now her name's Karen. Yeah, she probably
just like all those memes, like bad luck Brian or whatever. Like I don't think that guy's name's Brian. He became a meme.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So that was just what worked with whoever first called it that, and that was the name and stuff, even though it was just fabrication of that first person. So that's what I think Karen was. It was just like, damn it, Karen, or whatever the first meme that was made.
Yeah, it was like, here comes Karen with her Nintendo system again to their trendy rooftop party or whatever. They're like, we had conversations. It would have had a lot more fun.
It's true that,
with
and that I did want to
Switch.
talk a little bit about that presentation. Like, it really was. Maybe we talked about it before, but it seemed like it was targeted at somewhat wealthy young people. Like, everybody just kind of seemed like they were living the high life, and they just had the Switch going along with it. Like, there's sort of a glamorous coating to the entire, but like, just like the whole thing just had like sort of a glamorous look to it. That having the Switch was glamorous in some way, and like you're traveling all around and you just got the shit with going to parties, and it's the life of the party when it's there. It kind of, the commercial kind of communicates that, I think, because like it starts out with just one guy playing, then his dog's like, hey, come on, man, let's hang out. So he's hanging out with his dog, but he's still playing his game. And then the next thing's like a guy walking. He's about to get on a plane. And he just meets someone randomly in the airport.
Yeah, while they're waiting.
She's confused.
The waiting area. Yeah.
She doesn't have a name, but she's like confused lady or something. Her too, but she like looks at his screen, and I think he was playing Skyrim. But so that's like a social thing. So suddenly he's with another human. It's not the dog.
Yeah.
The next, I think the next one was the people going to play Mario Kart in real life. So the whole thing, like, till eventually at the very end, it's like 2 teams of 8 people each or whatever. Like,
yeah, and then they end up doing like the esports stuff.
So the whole commercial kind of proceeds from like one guy by himself to like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, that's the idea. Well, I think basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to target the people that they want to target. Instead of targeting like kids and parents and stuff like that, they want to target the 30-somethings that have a lot of disposable income and can spend a lot of money on video game systems, and like
they're
games and
obsessed
stuff
with
like
the
that.
internet,
Yeah,
like and everything.
Yeah, so that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're trying to go for. Like with the higher class or more. People who have more money. Like that's the people that they want to like the system. They want to be like, oh yeah, I go to rooftop parties. I fly on planes and meet people while they're waiting for planes or whatever. They want those type of people to buy the Switch. So that's what they're aiming for.
Well, they aimed right at
which is
me.
not. Yeah,
I'm not a wealthy rooftop dweller, but I still find that lifestyle glamorous.
Sure. I don't think I've ever been to a rooftop party. I've hung out at rooftops, like
been on
during parties, but it wasn't like it wasn't planned to be on the rooftop. We just ended up.
That wasn't the party.
Yeah, that wasn't the party.
Rooftop party. It's like, hey, let's go on the roof.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
During the party,
like stuff like that. But it's good for them though. Gone are like the old, because I know like the Wii U stuff where they showed a lot of like families sitting on couches and playing together and all that. It's good. I'm glad they kind of got away from that. They're trying to be like yuppies and whatever. People who have money like to play games to get the system.
Their slogan should just be "Not for grandmas."
Yeah, grandmas can't play
there
anymore.
There were no grandmas in that video.
Yeah, there wasn't any grandmas. There were no kids
Not
either.
One grandma. I think there might have been kids in the audience.
Oh, the e-sport thing. Yeah.
I didn't see any grandmas though.
Well, for what I got I got the last of my Halloween stuff that I was getting. I bought Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. I ordered that last week. I just got it this week.
What'd you pay for that?
Like $8 for Wii. $8
Maybe
for
I
shipping.
should.
It's not expensive at all. But yeah, it's a light gun game. It's a fun Resident Evil light gun game. I wanted to get that one and the other one, the Dark Side Chronicles, but I didn't get that one yet. But it's a fun game. I played around with it a little bit. But yeah, you basically play through the Resident Evil stuff but do it in like a light gun mode. But it has a lot of levels and you fight a lot of stuff. And it starts off with Resident Evil 0. So you get to play as like Claire and that other guy. I forget the other guy's name. The fugitive dude. Which he wore handcuffs too. When we were talking about people who wore handcuffs. Yeah. He wore like
that's part of
he wore handcuff. Yeah, when he wore one handcuff through the whole thing.
It's like handcuff chic.
Yeah, and he has like the one arm tribal tattoo. It's like all over his arm, and he has like this mullet and like a tank top. He's dreamy. But yeah, I played that. It's fun. Yeah, it's totally worth it for $8. If you haven't played it before, it's a fun light gun game. But yeah, so I did that. Played it a little bit. I did the buy 2 get 1 free at Target. I went and got Mario and Luigi Paper Jam, Monster Hunter Generations, and Minecraft. So I played a little bit of all of those. I played some of Paper Jam, and I was like, Man, I really need to finish Dream Team because I was like so close to beating Dream Team, and I got stuck on this stupid boss that you had to play with the 3DS. Like you had to hold it vertical. It was like motion based and touch based, and it was really annoying to play. But I went back and like beat him with no trouble. Like I went back and played the boss like right after I was playing Paper Mario and just destroyed him. I was like, okay. So now I'm on like I'm in like the very final castle of that game. So I'm trying to finish Dream Team. And then I'll play Paper Mario. Because I got so far, I put like 50 hours into Dream Team, and I was like, man, I'm so close to beating it. I can't just like give up on it now. Like I need to go finish it, and then I'll play Paper Jam. So I didn't really play much of that, but I've been trying to, just because like I don't know a whole lot about Minecraft, and I don't know a whole lot about Monster Hunter, aside from that people really like it. So I've been trying my hardest to get into both of those games. So I played the tutorial on Minecraft for a while, and I've just been doing like the training missions on Monster Hunter. And it pretty much feels the same as the other Monster Hunter so far. But hopefully this one has a better community. I guess you have like super moves and stuff like that now, but I haven't gotten to that yet. But it looks really nice.
We'll have to do 2-player Minecraft. I think that's the way I learned the best.
Yeah. I just did some of the tutorial stuff. Like I built a house, and and you get all the skins on there. Like there's like Star Wars skins and Doctor Who skins and like all these fucking skins. There's like skins for non-Nintendo games. You can play as like Skyrim people or whatever like that's in there too. Yeah, there's like all these skins. And then there's the Nintendo ones too. So I was playing as Shy Guy. I was walking around as Shy Guy. And I learned how to like build an axe and a shovel and stuff like that. And
oh, well that's all important stuff.
Built a house. Yeah, I just played through the tutorial mode and saved once I got to the point where, cause you learn some stuff and then it starts where the day starts going, where it can get night and all that. It does it when you get to a point, and then you can start exploring around, and I pretty much saved after that. But yeah, I played around with it a little bit. It's, it's cool, I guess. I don't know. I had never played Minecraft before, so it seems like about what I thought it would.
World. We'll have our own world.
Yeah. But there's like voice chat on that and stuff, so it's cool. I haven't tried any of the online stuff yet, but I know that it has voice chat, which is interesting. It's like the only game that has voice chat. Even though I think one of the Call of Duty Ghosts has it, I think. One of those like early third-party ones, I think, has voice chat. But yeah, I got those games. I'm planning on going back tomorrow to see because the new Amiibo are coming out. So like the Mario Party ones, and Mario Party Star Rush comes out tomorrow too. So I'm probably not going to get that, but I want to go look at the Amiibo, the Mario Party Amiibo that come out. See if I can find like Waluigi and Boo and all that. So that'll be cool. But I haven't ordered anything this week. I'm trying to like slow down and stop. Because eBay is like so tempting, because it's like, oh, I remember this game. Oh, look, it's $8, no shipping. I'm like, damn, I could just get it right now and then get it in a couple days. It's like so bad, but great at the same time,
And last year was very more Amiibo focused. Amiibo were still exciting and like hard to find. Maybe these new ones that are coming out, the whole atmosphere around them has changed.
Yeah, it seems like everything releases and nobody really cares. So I don't expect to see people lining up outside for the new Boo Amiibo, even though it looks really cool and it glows in the dark. I don't expect that we're going to see that in a while.
But what about what's going on? And we're 1 week away pretty much from...
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that too, because if you looked on YouTube, a lot of people got like NES classics, like people who do like reviews and stuff like that. They've already gotten them, and like there's still no pre-sale, and yeah, it's coming out like a week from tomorrow. That's insane. Like, are they just going to release it? I'm planning on, I was thinking about it. I was like, man, do I have to go to Target at like 9 in the morning and just wait? Like, cause I might just do that if that's what I have to do, or go to Toys R Us or whatever. I might just wait for the store to open. Yeah. And then just try to walk in and get a couple of them,
That's where I'm at, man.
Cause there's like, it's really weird for it to not pre-sale at all, but maybe they're just going to not pre-sale it, right? I don't know. Or maybe they just don't have that many made.
Sort of what the rumor is.
Yeah, but people are already getting them. People are already taking them apart. I saw somebody I showed the insides of it and all that, and I guess you can modify it and put more games on that is what I heard. Or some guy said he knew how to do that. But yeah, it looks really cool. I watched watched some unboxings. I watched like the review on IGN of it. I'm really excited to play it. I think it looks really nice. I have to get an extra long HDMI cord or something for it, but it sucks because it comes with an HDMI cord, but it should come with an extra long one, But supposedly it comes with a card that has points for My Nintendo, so you get points for that, which we predicted way back during the Star Fox launch. I told you that there was going to be a card in there for that, and then there wasn't one, unfortunately. But they finally got around to it. Now you get points for the NES Classic. So you can use it to get discounts on games that you already have on the My Nintendo, which is kind of annoying. It bothers me that they took away the whole free game thing. I felt like that was only there for a second. Like, I liked when it was like, you can get a free game. But now they're gone.
It
now
felt like
discounts.
the end of Club Nintendo. So it was like they were trying to like transition us from the end of Club Nintendo when they were like, your yearly award is a free game. Like, it was the first time there was no physical reward, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And,
the last one was like, here, you get a game. You get games you already have. And I'm like,
That's when I got New Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Bros. 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I got like Legend of Zelda 2. I got Link's Adventure. That was like the only game I didn't have. I got Link's Adventure and I got like Metroid for 3DS because I didn't have it on 3DS. But it was such a worthless. Like, it wasn't as cool as like the Mario hat or like the Mario Party trophy and like stuff like that they did before. Or
but
like
I will say, so the discounts are kind of cool. You have that whole like Mario figure setup. It's like a bunch of different figures.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Mario Party trophy. The one that has like it's a bunch of, it has like Bowser and like everybody standing around it. And they did the Majora's Mask soundtrack one year too, which was really cool. The double disc full album.
One of the last things they did was the Majora's Mask like satchel.
Yeah, I got that. I have the Majora's Mask tote bag. It's definitely not as cool as you think it is, but I use it. I carry stuff around with it whenever I carry stuff around. So it's all right.
You can carry your 3DS XL in it.
You can. I could carry the Wii U in it.
Is it pretty durable?
It'll like just fit in there. I mean, it's like a tote bag. It actually feels kind of light, kind of lightly made.
Is it like one of those grocery store bags?
Yeah, sort of. Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like one of those reusable bags that kind of feels
like
that.
Durable and rugged, but made out of minimal material.
Yeah, that's basically what it feels like. It feels very light. Like it feels lighter than a regular tote bag. You know, if you bought like my girlfriend has like a Totoro tote bag. Like her tote bag's like nicer than the
Totoro.
Yeah, Totoro tote. But it's nicer than the Majora's Mask one for sure. But whatever. It was that was when I went to all those GameStops and just everybody did. Just went through all the used games and just pulled all the Nintendo Club cards out of there. I just took, and just got like so many points.
Oh my gosh,
that was fun. Did I tell you? Did I tell you did that? Yeah, they didn't care. I told the people at GameStop, I was like, "Can I look through your used stuff for Nintendo points?" And they're like, "Yeah, go ahead." And I just went through and just grabbed a bunch of them out of there because so many times people never did anything with it. So I got all.
Well, I know that, yeah.
So I got all these points for like Pets and like Bratz and like all these other stupid games that I would never buy. But I went through. But you had to do like surveys on all of them to get extra points too. So that
I remember.
So that was pretty hilarious. Like it'd be like, what was your favorite part about Dog's Vacation Resort? I'm like, I don't know. The interactivity.
Dogs vacationing on a resort.
Yeah, or whatever it was called. Like it was so ridiculous.
What did you think of Bratz Cats?
Yeah. What did you think about Bratz Cats plus Dogs? Well, it was great.
I thought that the dogs introduced like sort of like an element of randomness that was nice because the cats don't always like the dogs.
They don't, and you have to deal with that. Yeah, it was
just Bratz, like all cats and dogs.
It was just doing surveys on all these games that I never actually played. It's amazing.
Did you feel like a liar?
No, I mean, I still
you just felt like you were just doing what you had to get the points.
Yeah, I get those points, man. I ended up getting a lot of points.
That's what you gave them.
Yeah, and I got that bag, so it was totally worth it. No, that's what I did it because I had like no points, and I was able to gather enough points to get the bag just from stealing cards from GameStop. But they didn't care. I told them about it. They
that wasn't so much stealing.
Whatever. It was really stealing. I just was like, hey, can I go through your stuff? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. We don't care.
It's like real life experience points.
Yeah, for sure.
A place to grind.
So, Speaking of the presentation, I know we were talking about it earlier, but the January presentation. Something cool I saw when I was looking around online. Dragon Quest VIII got a release date. It's releasing January 20th, so like a week after the Nintendo Switch presentation. So that's pretty cool. I'm about 20 hours into the Dragon Quest VII, so that should, hopefully, I can get through it, like, in the next, 2 months.
So did you just finally fight your first battle?
Yeah, yeah, right. No, I've fought a lot of battles, actually. I feel like I'm getting close to the whole class part. I mean, I must be, because my guys are fairly strong. And it hasn't really gotten to the point where it's like, I feel like most Dragon Quests, like, kind of have a point where it's like, oh shit, everything's way harder now, and I need to know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? There's like there's like where it's kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, easing you into it, and it's all like, holy shit, this guy's hard. You know, and it's like, oh, I gotta grind, or I gotta figure out, you know, I need to go buy that armor that I didn't get because I didn't think I needed it. Now I need it for this next part. It hasn't really gotten to that part for me yet, like where it gets to where it's like, oh shit, this is hard now. But granted, like the only Dragon Quests I played before this were the NES ones, and they all had, you know, where it was like, okay, now the hammer's on and it's way harder. So I felt like this one's been like too easy so far, I guess. I haven't died at all in it, you know. Actually, I think I might have died one time. But I mean, it's like, the other ones I died multiple times. It happened a lot, you know. So I'm kind of waiting for that time where it starts to get like hard, or it just gets hard to be like harder Dragon Quest stuff. And I feel like that's probably going to be around when the class system gets brought into it. So that'll make it more exciting for me. But I mean, mostly like the stories are still interesting. The challenge and the fighting isn't really there yet for me. But I hear that it gets there later. So, but I'm really excited to play 8 because 8's supposed to be really good. Like, it's supposed to be like it was like the big one where everything is like the way it should be, and they got rid of like the world map, and it's like takes as long to walk to one part as it would. Like, it's kind of like, you know, it feels like more realistic, I guess. It's cool. It looks very cool. So I'm excited about that. So I think that's most of the news that I had written down, aside from like the Direct and all that. I feel we've been talking for a while. Do you want to like do a quick break here and then come back and talk about Animal Crossing?
I guess the last thing I wanted to mention, did I mention the birthday discount? Because I've finally
No. What's the birthday discount?
Okay, so I guess I've heard people say this on the internet, or I've read people say that you get a discount. I was expecting to see something closer to my birthday, which is at the end of the month. But I think the month of your birthday, you get a 30% off for. You don't have to use any of your coins.
Yeah, I didn't know about this. Like,
and it's on a lot of good games, like Mario Maker's in there, Splatoon's in there, the new Super Mario Brothers plus Luigi's in there.
Oh yeah, so
there's a lot of good games.
Which one of those do you not have?
Well, I think I'm trying to decide if I want Splatoon, which ends up being something like $41 after the discount. So
yeah,
60. Yeah, so it'd be 42.
Yeah, I feel like deja vu. I feel like we talked about. In like way old episodes, we talked about you considering Splatoon before for a similar price. But right. Yeah, you should do it. I feel like there was another sale at whatever time for it being at 40.
Yeah, and then there's Paper Jam, which I can also get a 30% discount on.
Sure.
28.
Yeah, no, that's cool. And there's also they changed the rewards for this month, so you can get a discount off of Xenoblade Chronicles. The first one for 3DS and Wii U. And the Wii U one's like a 30% discount, so you can get it for like $14 instead of $20, which is pretty awesome, I think. Like, that's a pretty good deal. I mean, I already have it on 3DS, but that's very tempting to get it on Wii for that. And plus there's like, you can get a discount on like Earthbound for 3DS, which I thought about getting just because I've been really liking the Pixel Perfect mode on 3DS, and that's a good game. Might as well have another version of it, right? I have the cart version and I have the Wii U Virtual Console version, but I could have a 3DS one too.
You need all of them.
For sure. But yeah, do the Splatoon. That's what I'm saying. Unless you want to wait for the Switch Splatoon, which there'll be one, you know, now according to the reveal video.
It actually might be a good time to start getting into that game so that I understand what's happening when the Switch one.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy game to get into, I think. I mean, I bought it just for the single player mode, and I really enjoyed the single player mode. But the online mode's actually good too. And this coming from a person who doesn't play online like at all. Like, that was the game that I probably played online the most out of any. That's like the most I played online multiplayer ever, I think. Or like for the longest, you know. Like, I played other games online, but this is the one I actually kept coming back to, just because they added a bunch of stuff. Because they were doing the thing where like they added a new thing like every 2 weeks, you know, so they add like a new weapon or a new level, and it was really exciting. So it was fun. And like the Miiverse was used so well, like there's like a hub world sort of where like you can see bubbles around like above everybody's head that shows like their Miiverse, whatever. It actually made me draw a picture for it. Like, it actually inspired me to draw a picture. I drew a picture of one of the squids with what looks like spray paint on their face, like from Mad Max Fury Road. and it says like "I live, I die, I live again" on there. So I thought it was cool. I made like a Splatoon Mad Max mashup thing for Miiverse. I like drew it.
I would do like a cross on my face. I kick ass for the Lord.
Yeah. Well, do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, to get into the topic of the week.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a new Nintendo Direct yesterday. It was yesterday, right? Yeah, it was yesterday. 15-minute Animal Crossing Direct. We should have said it at the top of the show, but I forgot we should have said something about Harv or Harvey or Harv.
All right, call me Harv. Call me Harv for short, or Harv.
Honestly, when I was watching that Direct, like I checked like what it was, who posted it. Because I thought it was like a fake Direct. I thought somebody had just like made it because it looked so cheaply made, you know? Yeah, because it so looked like a fan-made film or something with a guy in a KK suit. And I looked at it and I was like, nope, there's Nintendo. This is from their account. So I'm like, all right. But yeah, when I first started watching it, I was like, this can't be real. You know, because like
it was silly AF, man. That's why I've written on my notes. That's why I said it that way.
Silly AF. I know what that means now. I feel like such a geezer on this show, which is fine. I mean, but that's like all our YouTube videos, which you should watch if you haven't watched them. But we're most of the time we just talk about the internet and how it's too young for us and all that.
It's not refined enough. Especially
the Tony Hawk one, which by the way I posted a Majora's Mask one that Jess and I did, which is up there now, so you should check that one out.
Check that out.
If you haven't watched it yet. It's just us playing through the first part of Majora's Mask,
over it.
Yeah, up to the part when Link takes the Deku mask off.
Oh, cool!
And we like get the number and forget the number, and I cut that part out. But yeah, it's like just us playing through that first part and talking through it. So, and I put an audio version on the Honey Darling show also. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So I edited that together and put it up. I think I put it up right before our last episode was up. But it's on the YouTube/Fingmator. You find it on there.
I definitely liked this presentation still, though. I mean, it was charming. It was very charming.
It was charming, but at first when I was watching it, I thought it was a fan film, yeah, just because of the way it was made, and it was a funny way to deal with the language barrier, you know, where they had them talking in Animalese, and then they dubbed him over in American, so he's talking in Japanese, and now it's, you know, I thought that was a fun way to do it. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, yeah. The guy. I was saying the guy is actually talking in Japanese.
Right,
but they're dubbing it.
Let's just make it Animalese.
Yeah, but they basically explained it, like why they were doing that. So
that was
so they don't have to worry about him speaking English. And I thought that was funny. I thought that was a real clever way to get around the language barrier there. You know,
but that was the main Animal Crossing guy, right? What's his name?
I don't remember what his name was. I should have written it down. But yeah, he. But I thought it was funny where it's like like at the beginning. And I'm like, wow. And then they can just dub the whole thing. And KK being like super creepy through the whole thing. The dude in the KK suit was a little weird.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think KK was an actor. I think KK was their guitarist, so he may not have had much experience being in an animal suit. That's what I felt.
Oh, maybe.
He's definitely playing guitar there at the end. He was playing
yeah, they do. Yeah, where they do the credits thing, like, you know, with KK,
which was so fucking cool. That was my favorite part.
Oh yeah, where they all sat around. I like the little trailers and stuff that they did in there. I guess like kind of how they did like here's a commercial,
the whole
and
thing
then it was like
felt like Animal Crossing, you know, like just chill, laid back, and silly.
Yeah,
like no conflict, no like sense of urgency. Like hanging out, here,
fishing, catching bugs, whatever. You know, have you? Have you played? Have you gone back to New Leaf since you watched the Direct? Like, have you played the new update?
Have you?
Yeah, I did. I haven't gotten the I haven't really done, like, I didn't scan any amiibos with it, but I talked to Harv. I couldn't figure out how to do the furniture thing, because I didn't feel like anything was different on that. Like, that's supposedly how you can move it around with the touchscreen now. So I didn't
like Happy Home Designer.
Yeah, I didn't figure that part out. But I went and I know, like, I did the update. I got the free update. And I know, like, you have to, like, redo your Dream Suite or whatever if you have that, like, just because the town changes, because now there's the mobile park. But I went in there and I talked to that dude, and I basically tried to find, like, the 3DS and the Wii U, but I didn't. You know, I went. Supposedly you get them from Nook still, though. You get them from the fortune cookies. And I went and did the fortune cookies, and I got 2 things that I already had because I have most of those. I got the R-Wing and the Pikmin hat. So I didn't get that because I really wanted to play the stuff like the Amiibo Festival thing. Because like that Settlers of Catan sort of game that was on there where you like land on an island and you have to find resources and survive through however many days, which was supposedly the best part about Amiibo Festival. That's on the 3DS now. You can play that on the New Leaf, which is really cool. And Tetris Attack. Who knew that was going to be on there? Like, that was completely
It's on there, man.
Blue. Yeah,
it's fucking on there. And I saw It said, I was watching the video and it said Animal Crossing Puzzle League. I was like, is this going to be like just a similar name?
No, it's Puzzle League.
It's definitely, they've branded it with Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's just Puzzle League. And we talked about that, I think, probably in our Tetris Attack YouTube video. We talked about, like, when Puzzle League's going to show up again, and lo and behold, here it is on Animal Crossing.
It is. For free.
Yeah, for free even.
If you have the game already.
Yeah. And then they're re-releasing a new version that's going to have that included on it. I guess as a select or something.
There's definitely a twist though, because you can use Amiibo while playing Puzzle League, which I don't know how that would feel right doing that.
Yeah,
you can.
I heard that if you use Amiibo, like it'll help you get the Wii U and 3DS quicker. I guess the items.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't use any of the Amiibo, and you can scan Zelda ones, like you can scan Ganon and a pig shows up named Ganon, which is pretty cool in the mobile area, in the mobile home area. But I went in there and there was like some lizard guy that kept talking about bugs and how you shouldn't eat them and all that. I talked to him, but you can buy the furniture that's in there. There's supposed to be they said that it's supposed to scan your save of Happy Home Designer, which I actually have. I bought that for the buy 2 get 1 free thing last year, and but I haven't found any of the furniture or anything like that that's supposed to be in there, because you're supposed to be able to get giant furniture that's like the yard type furniture that you could put on the homes in that game. But I haven't figured out where that is yet, and I haven't found Wisp either. Wisp, the ghost guy who can conjure the Amiibo cards or whatever. Supposedly you can only find him at night, and it's random. That's what I heard online.
Okay. I think it's really interesting. Is like people are like, maybe there's going to be a new Animal Crossing. Maybe there's going to be a new Animal Crossing. And like, Nintendo's decided rather than release a new Animal Crossing, they're just going to revitalize the one that they already had.
Yeah,
they're going to make it a new game through updates, which is cool. I think that's really fucking cool. They're doing that
for sure,
because a lot of people probably have this game and haven't played it for a long time. So the thing I found the most compelling was that you could sell your old town.
Yeah, and I actually heard that some people have accidentally sold their old town.
From
using the update. Yeah, which I haven't run into that yet. I haven't even run into Tom Nook asking me to sell my town or anything like that. But they were saying that some people were getting confused and accidentally selling their towns. But you can sell your town and then you get this big amount of money to take into the next town. So then you can like pay.
It's like New Game Plus.
Yeah, New Game Plus. Yeah, that's a cool thing. And you can buy the secret compartment to store more stuff, which is
just an invisible item storage system.
Yeah, which you can access. You can access wherever you're at. And I actually got.
So it's like the magic treasure chests that you get in. Well, in Minecraft, you haven't experienced that yet.
Oh,
there are treasure chests in Minecraft.
I was gonna say what, like Resident Evil, like the.
Well, they function like the Resident Evil.
Yeah, the chests that like they're all the same wherever they're at.
Yeah,
but I actually did go get that from Nook, so I did that while I was playing the updated version. I went and got the secret treasure chest. I went and talked to Harv, but Harv didn't really have anything cool. I got like 10 Meow tickets. Like they automatically give you Meow tickets once they introduce. Because it's cool, like when you restart it, like with the update, you're on the train with Isabel, and she talks to you about the stuff that's going on in the town, and then you get to the town, and she's like, here's the mobile home, here's this. Here's the Meow tickets, which I guess you
What
unlock.
did Meow stand for? It's like mutual exchange.
Yeah, it said like mutual exchange owner or something or other. I don't remember. But it was funny that it had that it was like an actual acronym, and that each letter stood for a word.
As acronyms tend to be.
Yeah.
And there's a cat on the ticket.
Yeah, there's a cat on the ticket, and there's a cat on the box that you go talk to get the tickets. Which I didn't see any, because it's supposed to like give you, I guess, sort of like an achievement system type thing, where you can get those tickets, but I didn't see any of that in there. Like, it didn't say like, oh, collect 3 apples today, and then you'll get this ticket. Because I like the idea of that. It's like, oh, cool, more like tasks that you can do in there if you want to earn more stuff. You know, it's always nice to have more options to do while you're hanging around the Animal Crossing world. Because I like the world and I like to talk to people, but sometimes there's just not enough to do to, you know, have your pet play it for more than like 20 minutes, you know?
Yeah. Well, they've expanded it, and if you played the fuck out of it and are sick of it, you can sell your town and start over again with like a different sort of approach to the game.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think
that's really cool that they allow that for people that want to take that leap, I guess.
Sure, yeah. I don't know if I can do that.
Is there a way to back up your data? Like if there's some external way to copy it to something else?
I mean, you could. You can take your SD card out and copy it to your computer. Then you could do it and then put it back on the card and it wouldn't even know, you know.
Could you if you have the physical game, could you just keep the game and then download it and then run from the save file with that, but still have your game with the file saved on it?
Yeah, I don't know how that works. I know you can get like an app that'll transfer your saves from one to another. So they may operate differently. Like if you have a cartridge and you want to have it digitally and you want to switch your saves, there's like a specific program you have to use for that. It's not like where they're the same. Whereas like I think a Wii U, if you had like a physical or digital, the save would be in the same spot. But I don't know.
So how many Animal Crossing amiibo do you have total?
5? 6?
Do you know how many there are total?
There's like 13 or something. Like I was
there
reading
are 16
somewhere.
Total.
16, yeah. That's insane. There's 16 total Animal Crossing amiibo figures. So I have Mr. Resetti, I have the Cap'n, and then I have KK and those other ones. The ones from the recycle store. I don't remember their names, but
do you have the Villager?
It's like Reese and I have the Villager. Does that count too? Yeah, I have the Villager from Smash Brothers. First edition too. I bought it on the first day. I bought it when Smash Brothers released, when Amiibo released. But I think that's
definitely the Villager. I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's just Mr. Resetti, Cap'n, and KK Slider and the people who came with him, and the Villager. But you can use the Zelda ones too now, so they're included. You could use Link, Zelda, Ganon, Toon Link, or any of the new. You can use the new ones also that come out in December.
Right. On December 2nd, the 8-bit Link.
Which
I gotta get that guy.
Yeah. So those are releasing. They're also releasing new Animal Crossing Amiibo cards on that day, and they're also releasing Super Mario Maker 3DS on the 2nd. So that's a pretty big day. If you want to get it again, I'm perfectly happy with the Wii U version. But when you get it, we'll talk about it on the show, of course, and let everybody else know how it is. And you can talk about how much angst you have that you can't look up people's levels or search anything by number or anything like that, or share your own levels. Even worse. But before I forget, speaking of that Settlers of Catan type game that's on Amiibo Festival, you can actually buy Amiibo Festival. I saw it at Target for $20 new, like $19.99 new, and there's 2 Amiibos in there. So that's pretty much a free game, is what it is. It's like the price of, because Animal Crossing Amiibo are selling for like $9 now, so that's pretty much like buying 2 Amiibo and getting a free game with it. Which, even though that game didn't really get reviewed very well, I'm still really intrigued to get it. Especially like when it's so cheap and coming with 2 Amiibo figures. I might just get it tomorrow too. I don't know, especially because that game sounded really cool for the 3DS. I mean, you could play it on 3DS now, but it'd be fun to play with people, in the room, like multiplayer. I don't know.
Well, it's kind of funny because I almost bought the Happy Home Designer 3DS, the new 3DS.
Oh yeah, because you wanted the smaller one.
And I ended up buying the Super Mario 3D Land version, so I already had the game, so I have that extra copy that's useless. So I don't think I can give it away or anything. I think it's just I already have it, so whatever. But that was $200, wasn't it, when it first came out?
Yeah, I think it was. the smaller. I completely forgot about that version. That was the first like regular 3DS,
It was. It's
regular new
it's the
3DS.
exact same one I have, just different plates that came with it. It's the exact same model. So so I did end up paying less for it, which kind of offsets the redundancy of getting the same. And the plate I got with this one you saw, the Mario Maker one.
Sure.
Which definitely justifies me buying Mario because I have the faceplate.
You already had Super Mario 3D Land, right?
Yeah, that's the first. That may not have been the first. I think that was the second game I bought. I bought Mario Kart 7 first.
Yeah, that was the first game that I bought too.
And then I bought the Mario Land very soon after, probably within days, because I was so excited to play that game.
Sure. Yeah, I think I did about the same thing. Like I got Mario Kart 7 and then I probably got 3D Land like pretty soon after digitally. In which I would have bought Mario Kart 7 digitally if I knew that I could do that. But it was the first game I got. I had just got a 3DS and I was like, oh, and I went straight to GameStop and got 7. But I could have just
downloaded it.
Yeah. I could have just downloaded it.
Well, that's what I did. For the same price, like, it's probably worth it to own the cart.
Yeah, but I never play it because on the cart because I don't switch the carts out that often. I know whereas like having it on there, I would just be able to play it whenever, you know.
It'd be really interesting if they made like you could transfer your carts on the NX, so you could still have the physical cart but not have to physically have it.
Yeah, there's something they should do. I don't know if they would do that because then you might. They'd have to find a way to copyright it to where you can't like give it away to a friend. Well, like Marvel Comics does it nowadays, which is really cool. Like if you buy any Marvel comic, like even trade paperbacks, they come with a code so you can read the comic digitally on your phone for free. Which I felt like everybody should do that model, you know. But they don't.
What if the card itself has?
But video
NFC?
games is different. Yeah.
Yeah, what if the card itself has NFC?
Yeah,
so
that's
it has to be like communicating with your system through the NFC.
Yeah, that's what they were saying with that leak was that it would have an NFC ID or whatever. Yeah, there's a possibility. I mean, that'd be cool if you could just get it and then you download it and then you don't have to use the card and then you'll have it on your system.
But it won't function on another system because it'll have an NFC link with.
Yeah, so you can't try to give it away and all that. But that would be a way because then you can get it and you can put it on display, but then you can just download it. You know.
I remember that being a rumor for the PlayStation 3 and the 360. I remember that being a rumor back in the day that like you're only going to be able to use like what would happen was that the console would actually physically burn an ID onto the disc when you first used it.
Oh, sure.
Sort of like all the old disc-based games have like a verification like, spot on the disc that they have to pass through before the disc will even run. So like that spot would be like a blank CD spot or DVD or whatever, and then something would have to be written on it the first time you used it that would make it only work on that console. And I remember that being a rumor back in 2005, 2006 when they were trying to like figure out how disc-based games would be kept to just one system.
Sure.
So that's like if the NFC thing is real, that would kind of be exactly that rumor 10 years later.
That was the whole thing. I mean, was that similar to the big thing with Xbox One and how you couldn't trade games with each other? Remember that being a huge thing? So hopefully that's not the case, because you should be able to share games with people, like being like, here, you can borrow this. But I don't know.
There's something going on with PlayStation where they have that. I think they have something going on where once someone borrows it, you can't play it. So, that's what keeps it from being able to be 2 games at once. Like, I let my friend borrow it, but now I can't play it. So I have to get it back from them digitally, play it again.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
It's an interesting thought, like especially if they're bringing like the physical media back in that kind of a way, because I remember the original rumors were to completely eliminate physical media in the NX.
Yeah, and I was fine with that, but now they're doing cartridges of sort or carts or whatever you want to call it.
Didn't we even theorize like maybe like the amiibo themselves would be the games? Like you would get, the new Star Fox game would be a Star Fox amiibo.
Yeah, well, people thought about that, like having games on there, which would have been cool. Having some sort of like digital virtual console download or something like on the game. But they never really did that.
But where it wouldn't maybe even be like the whole game was on the figure, just that personalized figure had to be near the console for the game to run.
Sure. Well, they did that amiibo tap thing, which was just like, oh, you can play a part of the game here, and and you have to scan the amiibo over time. That was kind of a silly thing. But that one amiibo challenge or whatever, that game was fun, where you use the amiibo to unlock Mario versus DK type levels.
I think the crash and burn of Disney Infinity says a little bit of something about the Toys to Life bucket.
Yes, speaking of that, I forgot to mention it earlier on our news, but if you wanted any Disney Infinity figures, go to Toys R Us because they have buy one, get 3 free right now for Disney
Holy
Infinity.
Shit.
So you can buy 4 for the price of 1. So if you wanted any of those figures, you can fucking get them. It's like, I want to buy Chewbacca, and then I'll get like 3 free Star Wars ones. It's crazy. 4 for the price of 1. I don't think I need any more, but Toys R Us is the deal to get them. If you want to get more of them, yeah, have at it. You could get 4 Kylo Rens.
The game, I would be so pleased, but you have to buy the game separate.
Yeah, they should do a deal with the starter pack, but I don't think they did.
They're just trying to liquidate their.
But you can, you need the scanner. I was going to say you can just download it. You can download it cheaper, but you have to get the base. You have to get the scanner base for it to work, which sucks that they didn't make it to where you could just scan it off the remote. But
it also makes sense why they failed because they made such a proprietary environment shit.
Yeah, they made their own scanner, which is kind of big and bulky and annoying. But whatever.
Which doesn't Skylanders do the same thing? I guess they haven't liquidated their stock yet, but they haven't made a new game or anything in a while.
Yeah, I think they're still doing okay. I don't know. What was wasn't there a new game whenever they made that? Whenever there was the Donkey Kong and Bowser Skylander figures, I thought there was a new game.
Oh yeah, but that was a long ass time ago.
But that was like 2 E3s ago, right? That was the one. That was like Iwata's first E3, which everybody was upset about, but I personally loved because I like puppets, and I thought that puppet part was amazing, where they all turned into Star Fox characters.
Yeah, puppets.
But I don't know. I was like grinning to the whole thing. I enjoyed it. But yeah, did we cover all the Animal Crossing stuff? I mean, we've gone kind of astray on other things. Is it gonna? I mean, are you planning on playing Animal Crossing again soon? Are you planning on returning to it?
I'll check it out. That's one of the few games I have as a physical cart because my friend Dan gave it to me as a Secret Santa gift a few years ago.
Well, that's a great gift.
Oh yeah, it was a wonderful gift. It was the year it came out. So.
Yeah, that one's my. I mean, it's my ultimate favorite Animal Crossing out of all of them. It brought in all of the greatness of GameCube, but fixed all the annoying stuff of GameCube also. But
it doesn't have the NES games.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It doesn't have the NES games. But it brought back Captain's Island and all that, where he sings to you, which was like something that I could hardly play the game without, after playing with GameCube for so long. That was like one of the major parts of the charm for it, I thought. Was
Captain songs? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Captain songs, the Cucumber song and all that. And then when you got Wild World, he was only in the cab. He drove you to town, and that's all you saw him, and you missed all those songs. And I never played City Folk, but I don't think he was in that one either. So it was I felt like he was a big part of the series, and not having him in there was a real bummer.
Was City Folk the Wii one?
Yeah, the City Folk was the Wii one.
I don't think I ever played that either.
Yeah, I never played that one. It wasn't until New Leaf that brought me back to it, but New Leaf was cool because you were the mayor, and you can actually kind of design the town to a point.
Well, the portable Animal Crossing that game was already made to be a...
Sure.
It couldn't be a portable game when it first came out because the technology wasn't there.
Yeah.
Once it was...
But it sort of was because you could carry your towns on your card, on your game card, and then you put it in somebody else's system, and then they could travel to your town. That was their way of making it portable before making it portable.
And then the U.S. release, since we got the 64 game as a GameCube game.
Yeah.
Pretty much. It was you could interface with the Game Boy Advance and go to the island, which was pretty fun.
Yeah, and then you can do the where you bury stuff and dig it up for money and all that. There was a money glitch on that I remember doing. You'd bury fruit or whatever, and you could dig it up and get money from it. I forgot how it worked, but
you would bury the shit, and then you would leave the island. And then when you did, you would take the island in your Game Boy. It's when whatever the native islander that lived there would show up, and you would guide them to the spots they needed to go to dig.
Oh yeah, that's how it was.
And it was really cool because it was 2D representation of that 3D island.
Yeah,
but perfectly mapped to the Game Boy screen, and you could take it with you, until your Game Boy battery ran out. And play.
Yeah, it was the first. It was the very first Switch, and that was when I came up with the idea for that, or that was where I was like, "This is the future of gaming." Was from that, where it's you can put it on the island, and then you can go to the bathroom and play it while you're in the bathroom, and then come back, and now you're playing the game. I was like, man, I wish they could do that in a bigger aspect where it's like you could just take it and keep playing the game and then come back and keep playing the game, and that's what we've got now with Switch.
And they've been trying their hardest, though.
Yeah, they've
like
been trying to do that
since
forever.
the card on Pokemon Stadium on the 64.
Oh, yeah.
It was the real first, I think, like Switch kind of.
Sort of, yeah. Well, they just did they did the Game Boy attachment that you could put in the bottom of the controller, which was the only way of Game Boy, of having like a Game Boy, the Super Game Boy type thing for 64, but only for Pokemon, where you could play it on the TV. But yeah, that's the future.
Nintendo's been pushing this for so long, and they've been trying to make it work. They're always like a step behind in technology, woefully. So maybe
they can do all the other stuff. Yeah,
it's gotten to that point where they're investing in some kind of crazy, awesome new chip that's going to make it really good, or it just doesn't matter anymore because technology's progressed so that.
Yeah, well, we will see. We'll
see
for
with
sure.
The power of a high-end smartphone, they can run really good games. Or what is it? Supposedly, they're not skimping on the power. That's another rumor, and that's coming from like Ubisoft, I think.
Yeah, well,
didn't Ubisoft say like they've got something that's going to really excite people, like some secret IP?
Yeah, that was something I forgot to mention in the news earlier. They were saying that they had some sort of thing that's really cool that they have,
possibly a new IP that'll like showcase whatever is happening with this new system.
Is it Zombie U or Zombie Switch is what it's called? Zombie Switch 2. Well, because Ubisoft, they had the Rabbids games for Wii. They've always been big supporters of Nintendo. Like they had.
Did they do Feel the Magic? No, they didn't do that.
No, that was Sega. Sega was Feel the Magic.
There were rabbits in that.
Yeah, Raving Rabbids was Ubisoft, and Zombie and Ubisoft was Zombie U also. So they put out they put out stuff from the beginning.
Did they do Deus Ex?
Deus Ex is actually a Square game, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because when you play Deus Ex, it's in the future, and there's a little, I forget, like the office that you're in at the very beginning of the game, which I don't know if you have that game, but you should get it, like, because that's an awesome game. I played through all of it on PS3, so I didn't get the Wii U version, but that's a phenomenal game. Like, I really like that game a lot. But
I don't think you can download it.
Can you not download it? You might have to get a physical version. I thought you could download it. I don't know. I haven't looked into it though. But at the very beginning of it, you find there's like a poster for like Final Fantasy 25, like in one of the office walls. So I thought that was funny. They did like a little like future. This is the future Final Fantasy thing. Did a little shout out. But yeah, it's a Square game, believe it or not. So I don't know how it ended up on the system, but it's a very good game and it's totally worth playing.
Non-Nintendo, as they'd say on the voice chat forum, but the Final Fantasy 15 is coming out soon. I'm kind of intrigued.
Yeah, Final Fantasy is like Star Wars for me. I don't care anymore. I've been disappointed too many times.
You're going to see Rogue Squadron or whatever it's called.
I wish it was called Rogue Squadron, but no, it's a Rogue One. Yeah, I'll see it. It looks better than 7, so hopefully it won't be as dumb, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, Final Fantasy is like the same sort of thing. It's like it's like Star Wars. There were three that were really, really good, and then there were some other ones that just didn't do it for me. So that's pretty much how I feel about Final Fantasy. And I mean, I haven't bought any of their games since I don't know when. I mean, even when I bought Final Fantasy 7 later, I was disappointed by it. So, well, they have
9.
Yeah, I have 9 also. I have 9. I played some
fantastic.
of 9. Yeah, it's okay. It's still no 4, 5, or 6. Those are the ones that have it for me.
But it's the closest to 6 you're going to get.
Yeah. I just turning from Final Fantasy to Dragon Quest was like the best thing I ever did, because I'll fight anybody on that. Like they're like the Dragon Quest games are much, much better than the Final Fantasy games, I think. Like as a whole, like every game is good. There's not like 2 that are good and then the rest of them suck. But that's because they had the same creative person on all of them.
They also didn't invest heavily, like FMV being what made them good. Like Final Fantasy took that so serious that they bankrupted themselves. With the movie.
They didn't invest in like 5-minute summon spells. Thankfully,
well, and they fucked up with the movie, and that's why they merged with Enix, I think. And then,
because they lost a lot of money from Spirits Within. I'd believe that.
Then when they came back to Nintendo, if you remember, first game to come out for Nintendo from Square was Tactics, wasn't it? Tactics.
Yeah, Tactics Advance. Yeah. it was.
And that came with like some kind of grant. Like Nintendo gave them some kind of grant. It was like, here's a bunch of money, like make games for us.
Yeah.
Like
Well, and
I
then
remember correctly, it was kind of like a bailout sort of situation, like but
Sure.
with the video.
But then they did all those re-releases of the Super Nintendo games, which was awesome. They
Yeah,
the
and then,
they did the 4, 5, and 6 Advance.
And then the Crystal Chronicles things where Nintendo.
Yeah. Yeah, they did the weird just Crystal Chronicle stuff.
But that was like the Nintendo versions of newest Final Fantasy. They were like a bunch of Mystic Quests.
Sure.
Better than Mystic Quests.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really that excited. I'm more excited for Persona 5, actually, than Final Fantasy 15. Supposedly that game's really, really good. And it'd be cool if that would come out for Switch, too. Well, it's on PS3 also. But it doesn't come out till next year, February.
I still have not played a Persona game. But Tokyo Mirage Session would
It's
be
a good game.
Right?
It's a good game. You should play it.
Are you still playing it, or have you taken a healthy break from it?
I haven't played it in a while, but it's in my system right now. I'm waiting. It's going to be the next thing I play for the Wii. I'm going to play that for a while and put Color Splash to the side. That's what I'm doing.
But you got to beat Color Splash because I did.
Yeah, I'll beat it after I beat Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I would rather play that game than Color Splash, so I'm going to play that game instead.
Color Splash was like, for me, it was just kind of like a little mini boot camp. Like I have to beat a game. I have to beat a game. I'm going to fucking beat this game. Holy shit!
A lot of people.
Game.
I'll come back to it. I mean, I'm sort of on a quest to finish the games that I have left on the Wii U, before the Switch. So I'll get to it eventually. But as of right now, I'll just play Minecraft and Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Those are the ones that are my Wii U games for right now.
So when's Sun and Moon coming out? The newest Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, that's right around the corner too. Like in a couple weeks. I think it's coming out after the week after the NES Classic.
Next week.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
We could own NES Classic on the next pod.
Yeah, we could talk about it next week actually. Yeah, November 18th, so it comes out a week after the NES Classic. So yeah, we'll talk about that next week. Hopefully we'll be able to get one, so we'll do that. But I think for now, I think we covered Animal Crossing and everything else under the sun. Sorry for not.
We didn't talk a lot about the actual campiness of the Direct, but it was pretty silly.
Yeah, we talked about that and the fact that I thought it wasn't actually a Nintendo thing. I thought some fan had made it because of how incredibly campy it was, and not to be punny because it took place in a camp.
They're hanging out next to some RVs the whole time.
Yeah, that's weird. Their mobile area, which hopefully that has something to do with their mobile game too, because it'd be kind of a shame if the mobile doesn't go into the mobile, But I think we're good on it. We're getting close like 2 hours anyway. But thanks for listening to episode 45. We're your hosts, Trey Johnson,
Jereme Mikowski,
and we'll see you next week. Hopefully, we will have an NES Classic on our hands, and we'll get to play through some of it, which would be really nice. Might have to wait outside, but
we'll also know who our new president is. Then.
Oh yeah, and we also might be plotting our escape from the country by then, which who knows. But yeah, it's a scary
NintenDomain if the apocalypse happens.
Yeah, scary future, but hopefully we'll be okay. Anyway, thanks for listening to us. Email us at nintendomain.podcast@gmail.com, or go to our YouTube channel, YouTube/Fingmater, or go to our regular website, nintendomainpodcast.com. Send us an email, rate us on iTunes, download us from whatever system you download from, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Quick, oh, quick, me, oh, me, oh, me, quick, oh, quick, nah, me, quick, oh, me, oh, quick, me, oh, quick, me, now, me, oh, quick, nah, me, quick, oh, me, oh, quick, me, now, me, oh, quick, nah, me, quick, oh, me, oh, me, oh, me, quit, oh, quit, nah, me, quit, oh. Me, oh, quit, me, oh. Quit, me, now, me, oh, quit, nah, me, quit, oh. Me, oh, quit, me, oh. Quit, me, now, me, oh, quit, nah, me, quit, oh. Me, oh, quit, me, oh. Quit, me, now, me, oh, quit, nah, me, quit, oh.